But who is the real Donald Trump? Donald Trump was born in the New York borough of Queens 69 years ago, the fourth of 5 children. These grainy snaps showed Trump and his siblings, and his mother and father. She was from Scotland. He was the son of German immigrants.
An account of the Trump family has now been written by Donald's niece. A psychologist, she claims, but he dismisses her story, that early circumstances in their home in Queens, New York, continue to shape his life.
When Donald was 2.5, his mother was very, very ill and was essentially unavailable to her children for about a year. That's an incredibly important stage in a child's life developmentally. So he's suddenly bereft of his primary connection to human love and affection. And because my grandfather had absolutely no interest in small children, Donald essentially felt abandoned. He was alone, he was terrified, and he was confused. There was nobody to help him make sense of the loss. So he had to develop some defense mechanisms to protect himself from those absolutely horrible feelings. And over time, they hardened into character traits.
Mary Trump says that as he grew older, Donald became bolder and more aggressive, challenging his mother and teachers. But Fred Trump liked what he called Donald's killer attitude.
His father drummed a mantra into his head.
You're a killer, you're a king.
You're a killer, you're a king.
And this is how Fred Trump thought about his sons. He thought that they should go out into the world and dominate.
And my dad, Freddie, was the oldest son. He was expected to be the one to take over, to succeed my grandfather in his business. And my grandfather was incredibly hard on my dad. He was very sensitive. So my grandfather's abuse of my father really beat him down.
So what you have to think is, Donald Trump, as a young boy watching this, usually he's ignored. What does he learn from it? Well, what he learns from it is that if he wants approval, he's got to be tough. He can't show any sign of vulnerability. To do that is to risk humiliation and punishment. So you can see that how that dynamic really shaped who he believed he was and who he believed he had to be if he wanted to win his father's affection.
For Donald, one of the drugs is attention, but it's not the kind of attention that replaces love, which he has, in my view, never really experienced. So it's this fruitless but interminable quest to find those things that have been missing in his life since he was 2.5 years old.
Deep down, he's really still that little boy seeking approval, seeking attention.
Perhaps not surprisingly, Donald was an aggressive child.
Donald was a kid who got into so much trouble at school, literally injuring teachers, injuring other students. He said to me, I love to fight, all kinds of fights. And I would say to him, well, physical fights. Oh, yeah, I loved it.
So he was a bruiser from the beginning?
Yes, and his parents couldn't stop it. So when Donald was 11 or 12, he was shipped off 80 miles north to a place near West Point called New York Military Academy. And I think this was quite scarring to a kid who was actually a bit of a mama's boy in addition to being a bully.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees.
What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that. But you know what?
The grilling from Fox journalist Megyn Kelly about his attitude to women clearly riled Trump. In a phone interview later, the Donald doubled down.
She gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever, but she was In my opinion, she was off base.
Well, this is classic Trump, a comment about blood coming out of her you-know-what. Now, who even thinks that thought?
This is the stuff of kind of teenage boy bullies. I mean, it's adolescent behavior at its worst.
It is. It's an 11-year-old boy who's been sent off to boarding school. You know, I think that there's something about Donald that was arrested in that moment, that he was sent to military academy.
Arrested development.
Absolutely.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Soon, Donald led the family into the Manhattan property world. His brash bravado, supported by his father's financial brain.
Look at all this money coming. Here you go.
Donald fit the bill and was perfectly willing to put himself out there, be the center of attention, be flashy, be somebody who was completely willing to throw money around.
Oh, nice seeing you. You love me. You love me.
Yes.
That's nice. I love you too. Thank you. Good luck to you. Thank you very much. Have a good.
Trump has taken this mindset to its most extreme because he's got to be a winner. In his father's eyes, if you weren't a winner, you were a loser by definition, and that is humiliating. Donald Trump cannot countenance that because still at the end of the day, I believe that he's that frightened little boy who is seeking his father's approval.